Hello, everybody. You know what time it is. I know what time it is. That's right. It's time for Syntext Live. How you guys doing? I am in a rush. I freaking ran over here to make sure everything was good, and I don't think I got everything right, but hopefully I got it right enough so that we can do our live stream. I appreciate everybody here. Always grateful for everybody who shows up. So, without further ado, hopefully you guys are getting through the last, 7 seconds of whatever commercial is popping up they never pay me for, and let's get to it. Once again, thank you everybody for being here, and you all are, as it says, there you go. So I'm going to pop a top, and let's get going. First things first, the competition to see who spots the Syntext label in the thumbnail has been going very well. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. If you're one of the ones who actually did catch it and you're the first one, if I mispronounce your name or you want an actual particular image, you got to let me know. If not, I'm going to go with what I got, folks, and that's all I got. So, on to the week's worth of what was going on through the channel, and I see everybody's catching up. And let's see. First one was Garbage Planet. You guys actually seem to really like that one. And that was one of those times that the story just kind of flowed out of me, and it flowed really, really well. This past day or two, I've been having a little issues making sure the flow goes very well. But I'm going to touch on that here later. But a few people brought up the fact that it was akin to the movie Soldier. Well, just like the thumbnail, yes, it actually did kind of play in onto that just a little bit. Obviously, the movie Soldier is not the same, but the fact that they treat everybody like trash, yeah, that kind of worked into it. And yes, the thumbnail, the picture from there is directly from that movie. And by the way, if you haven't seen it, I recommend it. It's a cult classic. It didn't do well at all in the theaters, but it's still really good. I actually own a copy, and this weekend I'm going to be showing it to my dad because we do a movie night every week. So, yeah. Now, for the story, somebody mentioned how that eventually the private military, if you want to call it that, the family, and everybody else is going to start working together, and things can go, yeah, this kind of, you're right. You are 100% right. That is just the way it is. As long as nobody's trying to be a turbo asshole, then yeah, I mean, everything's going to work out. And let's see. There was another question, okay, you guys got to help me out here, and you're going to have to put in the chat box because I was completely lost. Somebody mentioned that my story was lined up with the whole in all capital letters when they wrote a HOLE unit. I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, I haven't been a gamer in a long time. The most I do is I still have the BattleTech game down there, which I haven't touched in a long time. But I mean, you're gonna have to tell me what that was about because I am completely and utterly lost. Anything that lines up with certain cinema, any type of certain games is usually just by happenstance, folks. I almost never, ever try to get that sucker to line up just perfect with a show or a song or whatever it is. Not since I did the whole Saturday Night Special one. And, if you haven't heard that one, go into the older stuff, look for actually, I forget what I put on there. But that was matched up with the actual song, the old Conway Twitty song. Let's see. Somebody also put in the comment section, a girl worth fighting for. Apparently, somebody likes AI. And I am amazed that nobody put in the comment section that I was actually going in. I was finding all the games and old media where people had named their AI characters. There's Aya from the Green Lantern. Cortana was an obvious one. From Halo Wars, Serena. I don't bother with Halo Wars 2 because that was too political. And I have to hold up. I have to wait a minute. And I have to pull my pen out because we have our first super chat of the night from an MTF guard. Let me write you down here before I read you. And he says, Coming in swinging with a super chat and finally got my taxes done. Well, good. And got a pay raise today. Oh, yeah, I'll drink to that. I will definitely drink to that. He continues, so hell yeah, been uploading some Elden Ring clips like crazy on Discord since Gmail ain't working. That's interesting. I'm not, guys, I hate to say it, but I'm barely on the Discord at all. I mean, barely. I don't have a lot of time for it to be there and to be chatting. I do apologize for that, but like today I spent like 3 hours just offloading wood. You know, it's just me. I can't just hand it off to someone else. So, but yes, I see everybody giving the congratulations to Guard, and yeah, just remember, guys, in the chat box, if you're not used to it, if you want to send something like specifically to Guard, I see Tekaman and Erica did it, but you actually use the @ symbol and then start typing their name. Usually it'll fill it in, and that'll send it straight to them so they see it. Just in case you didn't know, but most of you do. I'm not going to insult your intelligence. But thank you again, Guard. Very much appreciated. You guys were going above and beyond last week, and again, a thank you so much. Now, back to the AI. I don't know if you guys picked up. I used the Mass Effect. Believe it or not, that was the whole point of the making a synthetic android to house the AI. That was kind of it. I mean, what can I say? It's a good concept, and you're telling me some guy's not going to want that, their AI to suddenly be this friggin' very, very nice shaped something, just like Chris has got in here. Mr. Prozac and Pancakes himself. He says, you spent all day handling what? Yeah, dude, I can't believe I walked into that. No, not all day. A load of firewood came in and I had to stack it. But still, you're right. You're right. I hit the tripwire, folks. I hit that one and it blew up in my face. Okay. I said that wrong, didn't I? Anyway, there's no other way to do that. I walked in that. Anyways, that's a good one, Chris. You got me. He got me. He got me, folks. He got me good. And oh, by the way, Chris, I wanted to mention on my printer right now is chapter 3. It's waiting until next month. Remember, this month is strictly for one-offs. Now, again, if any of these want to be a sequel, you got to show me views, folks. I can't put it any other way. Every channel's having a lot of trouble, and I'm going to write myself a little note so I talk about that later. But the AI channels are drowning most of us content creators. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I actually did. Well, I was talking to one of my buddies around here, and I kid you not, he said, because we were talking about like the YouTube videos and stuff like that. He mentioned how you have, say you want to watch an anime that comes out. You got so many reaction videos that everything's buried. If you don't catch it like within 5-10 minutes of it coming out, you're not going to find it. So I go to the reaction videos and I go flag, 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 just because let's face it, there's no cheaper way to do things than reaction videos. If you're reacting to TikToks, that's one thing. That's what TikTok is for. I want to watch the episode. I don't want to listen to somebody else yammer in my ear. I'm not their buddy. I'm not their friend. I want to enjoy it for what it is. I don't need it paused every 30 seconds while they give me a commentary, especially the commentaries. Oh, did you just see what they did? Yeah, I'd see the rest of it. You stop pausing the video, you dumbass. Well, when I brought this up, he goes, dude, you think that's bad? You should see the adult sites. I was like, what? No kidding. It's there. They're doing that with the adult content too. I was like, wow. Now I'm glad I don't watch that shit. What? Just holy flying fuckle knuckles. I was just amazed. What is wrong with people nowadays? If there's any time you want to be focused on what you're doing, I'm pretty sure that one's it. So I am way off in the weeds right now. So I'm going to pull myself back in. And, I'm just going to be talking about the AI here for another little while. And it just amazed me that you guys didn't catch all the different names. I went into old anime. I tried to find a couple of those. I think Yushio or something like that. I mispronounced the shit out of it when I actually went to the original raw translation. I can't, for some reason, bend my tongue in that direction. It doesn't work. And yes, there was an AI where it was a Kitsune Fox War Sniper, and I tried to say the name, but it sounded absolutely ridiculous. I mean, at least coming out of my mouth, it sounded retarded. So it is what it is. But anyways, on to the, oh shit. We got another super chat from someone who is so outrageous that she usually only sends 5. Now she's sending 10. Must be a good week for her too. He says, Sin wood can give you splinters. I hope you had gloves on. Also, how's the maple syrup going? Okay, 2. That's 2. First off, 1, yes, I do wear gloves because let's face it, I spend too much time inside and I haven't roughed up my hands to handle that stuff. As far as maple syrup season sucked something fierce. It was bad all the way around. Everybody in the area here, it was just bad. Normally, you have anywhere from 3 to 5 weeks of maple syrup season. The weather did not cooperate. We had just under 2 weeks of time to get sap out of the trees because it has to hit that happy medium between frozen and unfrozen. And you need sun. You need sun to warm up the center of the freaking tree so that the sap can actually go up. But unfortunately, yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Last year we had 7 different boils, each of which were anywhere from 3/4 to 1.25 gallons each. This year we got 3 boils, and we're lucky to get 3 pints out of each one. It was bad. Usually I'm sending syrup off to friends and family, and this year nothing. I got barely enough in the house for myself and my pops. That's it is what it is. So yeah, it was a bad season. I'm hoping that the planting season goes well around here, along with a few others, and we'll see how that goes. Didn't have a good hunting season either, but that was because the neighbor clear cut a bunch of areas and the deer weren't around. It is what it is. So I'm going to get back down to this. The next story that came up was sorry about the mess. I am astounded that nobody figured out where that picture came from for the thumbnail. That was straight off of the original Star Wars, where Han Solo flips the coin and says, sorry about the mess. Now, the inspiration for that was actually me and a bunch of guys were talking about how if you break something in a bar, you should pay for it. You know, you get in a bar fight, win or lose, you pay for the mess. If that means somebody has to pick up the bloody drunk guy off the ground, you know, you give the bouncer a couple bucks, you give the bartender something like, sorry about the mess, which is a nice way of saying that was personal. You don't need to call the cops. Just throw the guy outside and they'll handle it. And yeah, that's just the way it goes. But as one person put it, time for a good old bar fight. But I figured I'd throw some human idioms in there, like all standing up and focused. Like, okay, which one of these guys are we going to beat the shit out of today? If you haven't been in a bar fight, that always precedes it. Unless somebody just walks up and just starts swinging, which is not all that common. It's always somebody talking shit, and then all of a sudden somebody stands up, get in their face, and everybody knows what's going on. But when you're dealing with Xenos, they don't know what that means. They don't know that that's your last chance to back down before something goes bad, or talk things down at least. So yeah, that's where all that came from, and I hope you guys seem to enjoy it. It got some really good reviews or some views, and I appreciate it very, very much. You guys have no idea how much I appreciate the views and the comments and everything like that. Reason being is it helps the channel. Even just a like and a comment like yeah or something, it's enough to trigger the algorithm. Okay, again. Okay. Pulling back down here, one that you guys kind of got a kick out of is nobody rides for free. I wonder how many of you remembered the old phrase before I got to the end of the story. Hint, hint, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. You know, gas, grass, or ass, nobody rides for free. That used to be a common bumper sticker when I was a kid. And yes, that was the inspiration for the story, even though I'd done a similar one about a month ago. But yeah, the thing is, I've been trying to find a bumper sticker that just says gas or ass, nobody rides for free. Good luck finding that. The closest I found was like 10 years ago, and I feel like a dick for not picking it up. It actually had the old one, gas, grass, or ass, but with grass, it had the red circle with a slash in it. And that was, I'm not doing that part, but, nobody rides for free. As one person put it, it's funny because it's true. Yeah, it is true. Somebody better pay up. And yeah, aside from that, okay, I just saw one here. Lena doesn't remember Han Solo tipping money to the bartender. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does. Right after he shoots Guido, he walks up, flicks a coin, and says, "Sorry about the mess," and walks out. Anyway, the next story that came through this week is "We Can Hear Your Soul Scream." Unfortunately, I had to adjust it because I didn't want the humans to show up and immediately know the language and know how to pronounce things correctly and all that, which was why the whole translator thing. However, somebody suggested that there should be a sequel, and in that sequel, a 40K style beatdown. Maybe depends on the views, and I can't keep doing this or I'll get dizzy. Okay. Yeah, guys, I know you guys love sequels. First off, wrong month, and secondly, it really depends on views. The reason being is normally when you do one and then you have a part two, your view count will slice by about 20%. Just because a lot of people who like the one-offs are watching, and then you do series and they won't come back for like 3 months. It's a mess, guys. It is just a total mess. So I mean, I got to do what I got to do. It is what it is. So, but yes, I would. I have some thoughts about a sequel there, and none of them are nice. None of them are pleasant. Most of them involve a lot of, well, how do I put this? Ouch. So, yeah. Also, I do have to, on a side note, the hidden syntax on that one. Somebody mentioned that it was hard to find because of the black background and then the actual syntax on it. I did that because if I put it anywhere else on that thumbnail, it would have been like I lit a flare at night. You guys would have been able to find it like that. Most of you do find them like that anyway, but I figured I shrink it down, make it a little harder to find, make it a little more interesting. Let's see. The next one that came up was turn the children, even the children, human children, into warriors. Yeah, somebody, I won't mention who it is, Chris, mentioned how having a female corpsman around was enough for all the guys to act like morons. Yes, we do, but there's an actual psychological factor with that. We have a natural protective instinct. It is hardwired into our DNA. We cannot turn it off. It's just there, which is one of the reasons why as a former infantry guy, we know it's a bad idea to have females in combat units. Why? Because you're always going to have that one asshole who does something stupid. You're going to have people trying to show off and then they get themselves hurt, which makes you combat ineffective. And 3, if the female gets struck, guys will naturally abandon their post to try to protect her. It takes years and years and years of drilling to not have that happen. But you're going to naturally want to do it. No matter how many drills you have, you're just going to want to go over and help her out. It's just there, people. So, yeah. There's no other way to put it. And don't get me wrong. Can some women fight? Yes, they can. I've met some true badasses in my time. That being said, they're an exception, and the exception does not invalidate the rule. In fact, it proves the rule because it's an exception to said rule. So, anyway, yeah. On to the next point that somebody made. We do have actual combat simulators that we play for fun. There might be something out there right now that's free to play, at least supposedly free to play, that has a Thunder of War out there that someone, I won't mention who, but he's in the chat, likes to play video games, might be playing that every once in a while he's actually listening to this. And, I would love to see somebody go on there onto these guys who make the videos and just troll the piss out of them. I just saw one, they put friggin' like 20 millimeter cannons on a yak. I'm like, first off, that thing would not leave the ground. Secondly, what? Thirdly, I hope somebody came up with a P-38 or a BF-109 or whatever. I'd take a freaking zero at this point and freaking just troll the piss out of them. And please send me the video. I will post it on this channel if need be. Holy fuck, that would be awesome. I'd even label it, trolling the trolls. That's what that would be, trolling the trolls. Because I even gave those guys shit because at the end of the video, those self-righteous nut bars are sitting there saying, oh, well, these guys cost us the video or cost us the game. He tried to say, oh, no, I was talking about my own guys. The fuck you were, asshole. Let the real players play. It's the same thing with the comment videos or whatever. Seriously, either play the game or fuck off. People did the same thing. Like when I played MechWarrior Online, there was this guy, Birdall or whatever the fuck his name was. He's one of those guys, if he got his mech got taken out, he would immediately exit the game because he didn't want his KD ratio. And he's recording these anyway. I know because I used to actually check to see when he's in, find out what mech he was in. If his side won, he never showed that he lost because he's got to be just that good. Bite me, dude. Because of one of your videos, you cost us a pretty hefty match. We were winning, and you were in that stupid Marauder with, I don't know what the hell you were doing, probably AC2s or some such crap. Next thing I know, I see the arm fly off. You get crippled. Next thing I know, you're out of the match. And you were right where we needed you to be. I don't know what the fuck was going on. And then I looked, and sure enough, you're playing the same mech on a different map because, oh no, you must have thought we cost you the game. Kiss my ass and lick my nuts while you're down there. If you're a streamer and you're going to play, at least show that, yeah, you're not friggin' invincible. Show yourself losing every once in a while. Because guess what? No one's going to believe that you're friggin' absolutely perfect in every way. I mean, we all have seen the absolutely perfect friggin' characters. James Bond. I can't watch James Bond because I can't see anybody do anything perfect. Mission Impossible. We got the same thing. Tom Cruise. And now, oh boy. We got Brad Pitt in every single thing that he freaking does, where he has to push himself as, look at me, I am Jesus. No, you're not. You're a fucking actor who just happens to have enough pull to direct these videos. And the fact that he called himself War Daddy during the Fury thing was enough to me to want to find him and choke him out. Just like put my arm around his throat, reach up, and just squeeze until he stops moving. Then I may or may not let him go. If you guys don't know, look up the Chubby Sparky, the fat electrician, and look up War Daddy, and it's one of the best tank leaders ever, or best tank commanders ever. And the fact that friggin' Brad Pitt took a big old shit on this guy's legacy is bullshit. Anyway, back to the simulators. I went way off in the weeds. Sorry about that, guys. But come on, why else do you have me on here except to have me just rant up a storm? The combat simulators are getting very, very intense, very, very interesting, and they're getting very realistic. Now, the only thing I don't like about combat simulators is when they adapt them where you're flying a plane with a mouse or something like that. Get a freaking stick. If you're going to pilot a freaking or drive a tank, have a yoke or something. A steering. I'll even take a steering wheel because guess what? Some of the tanks back in the day actually had steering wheels. So they kind of do now anyway. Well, they call it a T-bar actually. But I mean, still basically a steering something. It's not really a wheel, but that works better. The fact that you're sitting there with a mouse, no, dude. No, that's for other games. And yeah, I don't want to take a shit on people that actually play the games and they use the mouse because they can't use the stick right. Well, I'm just saying you're losing out. Anyway, that's the end of the notes as far as what people put in. I do have to go in through the next things that are going on as far as entertainment that's been going on the past week or two. And thankfully, Disney is beyond screwed when it comes to the Snow Yellow because she's not white. She's Snow Yellow. And Snow Yellow is got such bad returns over the weekend, such bad returns over the week that it's looking like it's going to be the worst movie that they've ever been able to put out, and that is saying something. They put out some real friggin' stinkers. They're stinkers, and I'm drinkers right now. What the fuck? But my God, does it look bad? Let me put it to you this way. If you guys haven't seen it, do yourselves a favor. Don't. One of the few reviewers that I watch said that he was only in there for about 20 minutes. He couldn't stand it anymore, and he just got up and left. Not only did he get up and leave, but several children had gotten up and leave because they didn't want to even watch it. I mean, children are walking out of Snow Yellow. What the flying fuck? What the backflipping fuck is going on? And apparently he says you could see guys who are being forced to stay there because somebody with them wanted to watch. I mean, it's ugh. And this is a reviewer. He makes his living off reviewing movies. Now, this got to be really, really bad for him to do that. So, I mean, I digress on that one. I wasn't going to watch it anyway. I'm not going to watch a lot of their other stuff, their live action, because it looks cringe and a shot-by-shot remake. If I wanted to see the original, I'll watch the original. It's when they did Psycho, shot-for-shot remake using What's-His-Nuts from Wedding Crashers. They literally shot for shot. Why? Colorize the original and call it good. And guess what? You're saving a lot of money because you don't have to pay this self-righteous douche nozzle who can't friggin' act anyway. I have yet to see him act or be in a good role, something that I would enjoy watching him on. And it's just, It just gets on my nerves when they don't do this right. And now the movie industry is pretty much dead. You got Netflix coming in with some robot movie that, by the way, I couldn't even watch it. It was just dumb. Wow, was that dumb. I don't just mean the premise. I mean the way they executed everything. I'm like, you're not going to build trebuchets if you're a robot. You're going to know how to build some big-ass cannons and firearms. It didn't make sense. Did it pass the sniff test? Hold on, let me see. Nope, that's bad shit. That's some bad shit right there. It wasn't worth watching. And the only thing they got right is the fact that drones and robots are going to be coming out to the battle. Drones are already out on the battlefield. They've changed the battlefield. Pretty soon, you're going to have robots of different sizes and shapes. You're going to have the four-legged, you're going to have the wheeled, and you're going to have the bipedal. When the bipedal ones come out, that's when everything's going to probably shake the crap out of everybody because everyone's going to be freaking scared of them because they're going to move too human. It's going to fuck with the uncanny valley. So, I mean, it is what it is on that one. Chances are the majority of those bots are going to be personally owned around the house type robots that, well, let's face it, people are going to screw them. It is what it is. If you don't think that's going to be a thing, I got a bridge to sell you. But pretty soon, you're going to have the drones, you're going to have the robots, and what's going to follow with us, the guys that were on the ground, is the exosuits. They've been working on that one for years. Now that they got Neuralink and everything like that, they can just plug you in, and it's going to be like an episode of Exo Squad, just without all the color palette. It's all going to be really drab and all uniform, but it's going to be there, and that's the way the fighting's going to be. Because let's face it, if you're in an exosuit and you just have to think of yourself to fly this way, move that way, it's going to be like Armored Core, but it's going to make sense. And what I mean by that is Armored Cores, if you had something that large, moving that fast with that type of movements, the limited joint structure they showed would crumble under its own weight. That being said, you get something down to the size of an exosuit, it can handle that type of stress. Not a problem at all. Don't ask me how I know this. One of the other things you're going to see is also frequency finally coming to the forefront. It's getting to the point where people are figuring out how to heal themselves, and almost to the point of regeneration with frequency. People are building in their basements frequency modulators so that they can do what they got to do to adjust themselves. And it's going to be interesting. And yeah, you're right with the CRISPR tech there, War Sniper. I just happen to see it in the corner of my eye. Yeah, that's going to happen too. The reason that's going to have to happen is because if you end up putting an exosuit on, well, let me put it to you this way. If you've read I'm not going to ruin anything too much. The first Halo book, which, by the way, I recommend for everybody, they actually talk about the Mjolnir armor that the Master Chief wears. All he has to do is think, and the armor moves for him. The only reason he's even able to wear that without it killing him is the fact that his body has been enhanced, extremely enhanced, to the point of almost absurdity. His bones are about as strong as titanium, but they're still as flexible as actual bones. I don't know how that's going to work, but it works. His muscle tendons, the fibers, the joints, everything's been enhanced. If it wasn't for that, the first time he put on the Mjolnir armor, he would have broken his bone and turned it into gravel with the very first movement. It's just that simple. They even mention it. Now, you look at, like they said, the accelerator armor in the G.I. Joe movie, which, by the way, again, not worth watching. If you're moving like that and you're not enhanced, say goodbye to your ligaments. They're going to, it's like the way I freaking hyper stressed my arm like 2-3 weeks ago, and it still hurts. It takes a long time to heal that shit. If it doesn't tear, if it actually tears, you're looking at months, if not a year's worth of recovery after using that thing one time. So that's where the frequency is going to have to come in too, is to actually help you heal faster. Anyway, I digress. On a higher, better note, we had the anime I was talking about before. Now, I read the original manga. Unfortunately, I didn't get very far with it because this was years ago. When it first came out, I was deployed, and let's face it, when you're over there, you will read and watch just about anything in your off time, anything to keep yourself from going absolutely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But they finally made the anime out of it, where the guy is, I'm not ruining anything because this is the first episode. He's betrayed by his wife and his boss. He ends up basically working himself to death, so he's given a chance to be reborn as a evil lord at the age of 5 in a human species that lives like 900 to 1900 years long. So he's like, okay, cool. Well, yeah, if you've read the manga, then you're going to know, that first chapter is they brush over a lot of things in the beginning, and they actually get him going. I checked. It's only the first, half a dozen pages at most. that they actually took to fill out an entire episode because they really, really wanted to set the stage. I can't blame them for that. I really can't blame them for that. That was actually that was nice to see. But I'm looking forward to see the rest of it because honestly, I want to see what they cut out and what they keep because it was a really good story. I don't remember what it's called. If you know what it's called, put it in the chat box. Okay, last thing before I go actually into the chat box is other AI channels, especially when it comes to HFY. It has gotten so bad that when I see them on my YouTube page, I actually go in, click the 3 dots, and go, don't show me this channel anymore. Well, I started counting. Every single time I opened up YouTube, I would see at minimum 2 of them. For the past 4 or 5 days, every single time I did this, we're talking 5, 6, 7, 8 times a day. Sometimes not, or usually not that much, but I'm being facetious. But you got to figure, say if you go on YouTube at least, say, 3 times a day. And each time you have to delete 3 of these channels. After 5 or 6 days, it's what, 15, 20 channels is going away, and they're still popping up. I'm looking at the views. They've been on for like 3 days. They got 2 views, 3 views, 4 views. I'm like, yeah, these things, they're literally just cutting and pasting everything. They're just running algorithms. Do yourself a favor and do the same thing. Just they suck until they figure out their AI to make it actually sound like a real person is reading it and can actually inflect and actually speed up when they have to and slow down when they have to and everything to get the feel of it, then yeah, I would suggest you say, I can't force you obviously, but I would recommend it if you want to find actual real shit. Now, just be careful you don't accidentally erase one of the better channels, but you can see that all these AI ones, they just use ChatGPT to create their thumbnail. And it takes them, what, 2 minutes, if that? It's pretty obvious. So anyways, that's the end of those notes. And I got something in my eye. Hang on. Maybe I should yank out some eyelashes and make a wish. Maybe to actually get to 10,000 for once. And yep, there's everybody's super chats, which I do appreciate here. Starting here with Tekkaman as he rages out. Is anyone else getting some weird static on the stream, or is it just at my end? Huh. I don't know. Oh, Guard actually adds something here. He says, also, I can't tell if it's on my end or your end, like at random, your voice gets all staticky and stuff, but your movement doesn't at all. It's not my speaker, just, okay, so it seems like there's a problem with the stream. If that's the case, okay, when I get down in about maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, I'm going to ask you guys again. If it hasn't fixed itself, let me know, and I'm going to end the stream because I've been watching the view count just drop really fast, and I'm thinking that's it. I'm hoping it's not because I'm being a total asshole or anything. Yeah, War Sniper's getting it. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. You know, I haven't changed the settings on the microphone. Speaking of which, within the next week, I'm getting a new microphone because I did some checking, and this thing is a teardrop shaped piece of shit. It's even about the size of one. Yeah, hopefully that'll help with the audio quality. I've been seeing some issues. I've had to go back in entire stories and start adjusting, moving everything up and down, which throws everything to the back. It's just bad. Tekkaman saying cryptids messing with sin stuff. Yeah, maybe I pissed him off. Oh, bless you away. Okay. Let's see. Guard says, I think it kind of sucks though, because the one clip I really want to show you was me and 3 other dudes beating up one of the bosses. Gigantic snake boss. Okay. Let's see. Chris says, I've got the 4th and final done. Just have to type it up and full send. Okay. Hey, if it ends up where they go back to back, even better. Just remember, you got, was it 6 days to get it to, no, yeah. Sorry, 5 days to get it to me. But don't rush. For the love of God, Chris, do not rush. Take your time, do it right. I'd rather not have to adjust anything. I had to adjust some spelling errors the first time, and that was about it. Because he kept saying Zuckerborough instead of Scarborough. And I didn't want to stumble over my words 50 times. Okay, Guard says, it kind of helps that you have a gimmick weapon that does anywhere from 8 to 20k damage every hit, and there was 3 of us doing it continually, both phases. Okay, you guys must be talking some sort of game. I'm lost. Yeah, cryptids for sure there, War Sniper. Lena says, if I had time to waste, I probably would listen to the 10 hours of Isekai story that is probably written by AI. My stuff's not written by AI. If you're talking about that manga I'm talking about, that was before AI was kicking in. War Sniper says, same sin is uploading to too little for me and not look at some, oh shit, hold on. Not look at some AI stories that I find interesting. Yeah. Douglas here saying bending one's tongue in a certain direction. Yeah. Just like they can't say L's or R's the same way we can. It's actually very difficult for me to do an accent, which is why I don't usually do them. You guys heard me do accents before. They suck. Lean, it's maple syrup mafia. Yeah, sure. War Sniper here. I just saw a demon. His message being, yeah. Oh, that's mean, Rage. Can't bend your tongue in the right direction? No wonder you don't have a harem. I don't have a harem because at my age, one is enough. War Sniper says, I really need some fluffy kitsune sometime, as long as you have a good one and not the ones that will literally eat your liver out of you while you're still alive. Demon says, I noticed the AI names, but it seems almost no one can see my comments on the videos. That's rare for people to see them, and it seems, yeah, that's weird. I've been commenting all week, and most are auto-deleted. That's I don't delete even ones I don't agree with. I don't delete them. One person said that one of my old videos, the human turrets, there was no sound. I went back, I checked it was good, but by the time I went to go check his comment and reply, aside from, yeah, let me check in that, it was gone. I don't know if somebody deleted it or what. It was weird. I didn't delete it. Let's see. Guard says, I've been calling the game warden for 3 days right now. I have 2 hawks trying to nest on my property, and that's a major no-go because I have baby goats and I have oh yeah, they'll, depending on which type of hawks, they will snag a baby goat. A lot of times they'll actually, at least with most 4-legged critters, they'll land and eat it right there. When they came for my chickens, they actually landed, snipped the head off, and took everything away. Then they came back for the head. Sick bastards. He continues with, I have way too much farmland for our 4 Anatolian shepherds to cover and keep protected. I am not losing any more chickens or goats to goddamn hawks, and I'm not going to prison either. What hawks? I didn't see no hawks. I didn't hear a shot. No, I didn't. No. Let's see, Chris here. Best butt kicking I ever took was myself and 4 other team members versus between 35 and 45 Marines. We lost, but it was fun. Yeah, sounds a lot like when I was in high school and I got jumped by almost the entire hockey team. That was not a fun day, I'll tell you that. And why'd they do it? Because one guy decided he wanted to be an asshole. That's it. I didn't even know it was coming. They shoved me down. Next thing I know, I got some fat guys basically trampolining off my back. It wasn't so fun. Let's see. Rage says, some people just go out for a fight Often get stomped on. Yeah, I always say don't go looking for trouble. You're going to find it, and trouble's not going to be nice. Oh, there's the Solo or Han Solo tipping the bartender. Trust me, it's there. My great grand. Okay, you guys are talking there. Demon says, "Wow, second half of my comment was deleted. Wow." I said those that are not deleted are almost never seen, including the paid ones. So I'll just stick with the live streams because those are actually seen. Really? Because yeah, I write down everybody who sends, and I make sure you guys get your shout outs. I'm particular about that because without you guys, I wouldn't be here. That's insane. Or snipers. Yeah, he doesn't even know. Somebody loves their sequels. I guess, yeah, I guess YouTube does not like you, Demon. I don't know. Maybe it's the thumbnail. Maybe, I don't know. Who'd you piss off? Erica making a joke about the yak. I don't. You know what a yak is, right? It's a Russian fighter. It was a tough little bastard, I'll tell you. No matter how you looked at it, it's hard to shoot him down. Guard says, I'm having the biggest what the fuck moment on War Thunder because I just shot an M8 Scott, which I'm sure Sin knows exactly what type of tank it is. Yeah. A little nasty thing. It's so small they can wiggle in and out of places that'll drive you crazy. Let's see. New video. P38 dunks on a Su-37. I could see that. Honestly, the Sioux fighters are they're a bad bar joke, folks. They're an extremely bad bar joke. The P50 or sorry, Su-57 is basically a bomber. The Su-20 or yeah, the 35 is they thought was going to be hot shit. It's not. The 22 is even worse. They picked a lot of these numbers to try and troll us, and then I'm like, you kind of have to make a better product, not have our satellite photos showing the wings falling off while they sit there on the tarmac when it turns out they're just fake silhouettes. They're not actually real. Let's see. War Sniper says, Demon, I don't get any pop-ups for people reacting on my comments. Have to look at myself, even my own channel. Really? Lena says, if it's a video game tank or a plane or a ship, then somebody already have drawn an anime girl. Yeah, I've seen that style of drawing, and I'm sitting there going, a what? You guys keep, was it Azure Lane or whatever it is, where the girls are like part boat, and they're the only ones who can fight, even though they're still the size of a little teenage Asian girl. And that's going to do better than a full Aegis destroyer. My suspension of disbelief has limits, folks. Yeah, Demon says YouTube seems to be acting a fool. Yep, I've been considering switching to Rumble because of this crap. I was considering switching to Rumble, and then I found out I was not getting any traction over there. So I haven't been over there in a while. I need to spend a full day putting all my stuff on Rumble, as much as I can on X and stuff like that. And it's just bad. All right, seeing how I'm going to just jump down a little further here. There's Chris here. It says, my coworker's kids works at the theater, so he watched it, and I'm guessing Snow Yellow, with a cooler full of beer after getting in for free. Now that's the way to do it. Get friggin' blitzed, hammered, drunk. 85 seats and only 3 actually sold. Even drunk Gal Gadot is just so much hotter. Or even drunk, Gal Gadot is just so, yes, absolutely. Gal Gadot can't act, she can't sing, but boy, she's pretty. I mean, just pretty. You guys know what I'm talking about. You can't even describe it. You just kind of make a noise. I don't know. James is here. Hey, James, how you doing? Guard says, hearing about a guy who isn't invincible in his videos, but is really good streamer-wise, reminds me of my favorite War Thunder YouTuber, Spookston. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Yeah, I tried to watch some of these, and it's literally self-grandizing, and if they're constantly failing at the mission, but they're having fun, at least they're having fun. If they're doing it specifically for a video, I'm just like, no, get off the damn TV. Okay, Rage says, enough with the remakes. We already had the original. I'll watch that. Give me something new. They're scared of something new. Or they're afraid of fixing what they already screwed up. I've already told you guys how I would fix lower decks. And I ran that by a whole bunch of people who are Trekkie fans, like serious, like they even have the uniforms. And I said, if they did this, would it make it better? And they all paused, thought about it, and go, yeah, it will be a lot better. They won't do it because you have to make the one who's thought to be the hero to be the actual villain. Which the thing is, they actually are. They're not they're not an anti-hero. They're just an asshole. They're just some asshole who makes life harder for everybody else. I could easily make Mandalorian so much better than it is right now. It's not hard to do. You give me 2 episodes, and I can make that thing so even more popular than it was because it dropped off the map because of what they were doing. Let's see. Guard says, or he'll put a small white text on the screen. Yeah, I died. Yeah. James says, I want to get a PC good enough to play War Thunder. It looks like a lot of fun. A lot of people say it is. Find your way of playing. That's all I can say. Find your specific way of playing, whether you're a pilot, whether you're a tanker. And the thing is, are you a bomber pilot? Are you a fighter pilot? Are you a mix? Are you like the dive bombs? You like the glide bomb? You got to find your way. But do yourself a favor. When you go in, do all of it and figure out what you find most fun and focus on that for a while. Just get yourself a little better, and then more people are going to draw you into the games. At least that's the way it used to be. I'm sure someone else in the chat will fix me if I'm wrong. At least I hope so. Warstorm says, I'm waiting till I can start live longer. True. Hold on. I'm waiting till we can start live longer. Oh, start to live longer through CRISPR tech. Okay. Hold on. I gotta stop. I gotta wait a minute because we got a demon that just flew in here. Hold on. Let me get the fly swatter and swat that demon down. He sends a $10 super chat. And he says, attempted on different device. Hope this goes through. Snow Yellow has a worse rating than Dragon Ball Evolution, the live action Dragon Balls movie. It dethroned the king of bad ratings, which is so funny. Oh, wow. Just wow. I got nothing but wow. That's wow. I knew it was bad. I didn't know it was that bad. Thank you, Demon, for bringing that up. That is just crazy. Holy shit fucks. That is just wow. I'm having trouble wrap my brain around that because, I mean, I'm not a huge Dragon Balls fan. Not since I was in college and they were doing the Cell Saga, where it should have actually ended, or at least continued on a different route instead of, hey, let's just bring the original cast back and let's rehash the same storyline over and over again. But yeah, the Dragon Balls, I actually saw that movie when I was deployed, and even I was like, wow, I'd rather watch the cartoon. Oh, wow. Anyway, thank you again, SS Demon. And let me get up here a little bit so I can kind of catch where in the hell I don't even know where I was. Let's see. Live longer due to CRISPR tech. It won't just be CRISPR tech. Really, they would have to bring in a lot of the old stuff again with the frequency modulation, because the thing is, say somebody has the common cold, they just have to do it, and they have the technology now to actually scan your body. You don't even have to draw blood. They can tell what type of virus it is. Then they just put you in front of a frequency resonator. Standing here for 2 seconds. Wong. Okay, walk out. Oh, I start to feel better. Yeah, you'll feel better in about 10 minutes. Or you start to feel golden in about 10 minutes. That quick. Instant. And we're talking every single fucking virus out there. Just deleted from you. Now, is it going to annihilate them off the face of the earth? Absolutely not. You would have to frequency resonate the entire planet down to its core to do that. So, yeah. But the CRISPR tech, anybody with a nasty scar is going to be able to get rid of it. Anybody who's got parts missing is going to be able to, put those back together. It's going to be a big deal. But the one group of people who are going to hate that is pharmaceutical industry, the most profitable and most powerful industry on the planet, bar fucking none. So, but all I can say is I'm hoping the pharmaceutical industry dies as bad as Disney and just spirals down like a plane with its tail off, goes into a flat spin and crashes and burns in a huge blaze of glory. And what we get from them to go into hell is just a whole bunch of people able to get the right type of technology, the right type of medicine to heal themselves and to live that long. That would be nice. Now, the thing is, if you can regenerate and rejuvenate, you're looking at basic immortality. And what I mean by basic is you can still get freaking killed. You can still get maimed. You can still get all that. But without a random act of violence, you're living forever. They did a movie on that where they had the freaking numbers on the arm, and you knew actually down to the second how long you had left. That was crazy. Kind of jacked up in a way, but crazy. Okay, War Sniper also says, about that, do you know how far they are and how close they are until we start living longer? Officially, we have. However, it seems as though they're trying to pull everything back. Officially, I can't say too much. Unofficially, I can say that there are plenty of people who are doing the right thing. They're finding this technology, showing it works. They're not trying to make money off it. They're just putting it out to everybody. Just putting it out. Somebody just put out a new ether generator, which is only about the size of my remote control here. And I'm not any type of engineer, so me trying to build this thing would be, I don't know, look about as good as a monkey fucking a football. I mean, but that's the way you got to do it. You just have to put it out there. And eventually what's going to happen is AI is going to get a hold of this. Somebody's going to program the AI to go into these locked areas, find a way in, and then take the information and plaster it across the internet. And then there goes your cancer. There goes your all the other stuff that is killing kids at a young age. And poof. Don't get me wrong. St. Jude's is a wonderful group. But it'd be nice if we didn't need them. Keep that in mind. Gart says, eyes and comments in my new favorite YouTube chat music would say that his 4-part video series called Snow White and the 7 Abominations. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the critical drinker. Speaking of the channel and the chat and everything like that, I do have to put this out. I did order the actual soundboard. Okay. It's coming in. It might take a week or two to get here, but it has been ordered. It's coming in. It's going to take me a while to set everything up, but thankfully that's going to make these chats a little bit more entertaining. I do have to get a few things from some friends of mine who, they have their own sound bites that are just great. One of which I actually copied when I stopped at a McDonald's when the guy couldn't speak English. Says, yeah, we're going to go with a big fuck off. And I drove away. So, anyways, let's see. James says, I watched something about a flying drone carrying a shotgun or rifle or loudspeakers. They've had those for a long time. Usually those are octocopters and they're quite large. One of the things that they can't deal with is the recoil. So that you're not going to have something on full automatic unless it's a stationary on four legs type of or tracks. Even the one on wheels will actually knock itself backwards if it fires a weapon more than once in a row. So if you put something on 3-round burst, even something as small as a M16, it's going to flip over. It's got to right itself again. Don't get me wrong, it's still dead nuts accurate, but they're still got to deal with the, well, physics. Mirror, mirror on the wall, I'm giving my therapist a straight up call. Yep. Even though the ad was free, I want my money back. That's funny. Would be so pissed off if I was the last person to die before cracking the code for immortality. Well, here's the thing. There's more than one way to do it. And supposedly, if you listen to certain people, somewhere around 2036, that's when time travel is going to become a thing. And I haven't seen it yet, but people say it's going to be like the movie Everywhere, Every Time, All at Once, or however that's supposed to be. And it's going to seem like the multiverse because you're going to be jumping in and out of different timelines. Now, when that actually comes out, I guarantee there's going to be a lot of quote unquote laws on it. And if you want to go back and change something, they're going to have to see if it's going to be a huge shift in the actual time stream, especially if you're only going back, say, 12, 13 years. And yeah, I could think of 2 or 3 things I'd like to change personally. I think we all would. The only thing is you got to be careful because there is a ripple effect. There's no way of getting around that. You're going to have a time ripple. And that just means that that's the butterfly effect, folks. James says soft tissue damage is no joke. Took over a year for my foot to recover. Yeah. When they did my shoulder, when they put that to get back together after I tore the supraspinatus almost in half. Yeah, I was out of the gym for a year. I still remember being at a bar in a club talking to some lady, and she said, "You ever heard of fitness?" I said, "Yeah." "You ever heard of shoulder surgery?" And she's like, "What?" I actually had to pull up my sleeve and actually show her the scars. I can't do it now because I'm wearing a sweatshirt, but I had to show. It's like they went in and they put me back together. I can't go to the gym. If I do, I will permanently disfigure myself and I'm done permanently. So yeah, no. War Sniper says, I'm a late bloomer, so living longer would be great. Yeah. Now, the thing is, if you actually read like the from the Bible and everything, when people did at average live to about 900 years, the first 30 years, you were actually considered a child. You were not a full adult till you were about 30 years old. And it kind of makes sense when you think about it. But then again, even at 30 years, I did some stupid shit. I don't know about you guys, but everybody does stupid shit. That's part of growing up. But yeah, give me some extra time. I'll take it. See, Demon says, well, now I can't super chat. An error occurred. What? I mean, you sent me one, so I'm guessing you figured it out. Yeah, I don't know if I was you, I'd actually send in something to their, they do have emails that you can send your stuff in and say, hey, can you check my stuff out? When I first got on YouTube, I was over in, I think it was West New York. I had to do the same thing and they fixed it in a couple of days. Might work for you, might not. I don't know. Susan's not there anymore, so who knows what's going on. Let's see. Lena says, I finally watched the anime where the guy pulled an elf girlfriend into the real world from his dreams. He wasn't the thing is, I've only seen the first half of that episode. He wasn't dreaming, not what we would consider dreaming. He was astral projecting into another world. How in the hell he pulled a Freddy Krueger or anti-Freddy Krueger where you grab on, you wake up, and they're there, I don't know. But hey, it's a show. Gotta enjoy it. Guard says, I will say Electric State was kind of dumb, but it was a good watch in my opinion. Hey, enjoy it. You can tell they put at least 98% of the budget into CGI. That I will fully agree with. The CGI, for the most part, is passable. I don't have too many big complaints on that. Yeah, okay. Still hearing static. Okay. James says there are so many channels with robot readers using the same author's stories. Not sure why. There must be a what. Because they get views. You get views, you get monetized, you get money. It's just that simple. There's no other reason why. It's all about the money. And when you can find a way to make all these channels for nothing, not even a penny to make one of these channels, and it just either copies off of Reddit or it just reads something that it creates from ChatGPT, which is what most of them do, then why not? As one guy, what does they say? Get the bag when you can, or how are this phrase supposed to go? Guard says, remember they had to genetically augment all Spartan 2s because they tried an unaugmented human in it, as in the Mjolnir armor. His arms and legs curled in the opposite directions they're supposed to. Yep. I remember reading that. I read it twice and going, ugh. I was actually in Iraq when I first read that book. And they even showed it happening to the guy, or at least part of it, since it cut right when the forearms snapped backwards. Yeah. Honk. Ugh. That was not cool. Yelta says, I'm guessing it's probably because I'm watching more Squirrel and Aqua Squirrel, Net Narrator, and you. Those two actually got me interested in doing HFY stuff, so I got nothing against them. But I don't have many AI channels. The only one I watch has currently stopped. Yeah, they'll do that if they're not getting a lot of views. But you can always tell it's always from one AI generator or creator or however you want to put it, because like 30 channels will have the same story, but with one slight difference. I kid you not. In one time, it was accidentally got engaged to a green skin alien princess. And the next one accidentally got to engage to a blue skin alien princess. The next one accidentally got engaged to a yellow skin alien princess. And I have to swing down to the bottom here because we have the sir is here. How you doing, sir? I hope you're doing really well. I hope life is treating you, at least treating you good. I appreciate it very much, sir. He doesn't have a super chat. He's got a super sticker. And thank you very much, sir. Very much appreciated. You are still on the docket for having several. Like I said, for every full bill you send in, it goes a whole month. So you know what you did last week and still appreciate it. And, you put in last week how it was to help out with the soundboard. It has been ordered. It's on the way. It's just going to take me a long time to set the damn thing up because I am not that computer literate. You can tell because as far as editing goes, my stuff is pretty straightforward. All right. Oh, I missed that. Chris, I'm sorry about that. I missed your $2 here. It says, yes, it is that bad. Yeah. Let's see. Let me find out where I was. Lena here says, I know several Kitsune VTubers. Actually, yeah, there's a new program now where it will actually, the camera would see me if I was using it, and you guys would see an actual CGI Kitsune doing the same motions I'm doing. Some of this stuff is freakishly good. You can't even, hold something in front of the face and watch it fade in and out anymore. It's just really good. I'm sure you've all seen the one with the Asian guy who came up with some of this stuff, and he's actually eating his ramen, and you can't tell the difference between him doing it and the fake girl who's doing it too. And I'm just like, wow, that's fucked up. Guard says, I'm thinking it's the weather because it did this a while ago in the past, and that was just simply because the weather was all weird at the time. But other than that, I'm pretty much just sitting here enjoying War Thunder, playing the premium German tank, KFE, which is a German half-track with a 72-inch or 72 millimeter gun on it. Yeah, watch out for those air support units, man. Just watch out for those, because some of those, when they have a clan, they love to come in huge squadrons. And some of these guys, if they're not YouTubers, are just really freaking good, and they will just ruin your day. They will ruin your entire team's day, and then they're going to freaking bum rush the ground units in and take over your Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie points. So just be careful. It says, he continues, all I know is that it's big, and it's one tapping most. From when I shoot in the front plate. Well, I would think so too. So it's a friggin' 72 millimeter cannon. You know what? The next one up was the 88, and the only reason that thing wasn't on a vehicle is because it was too heavy and the freaking recoil was too strong. It flipped the vehicle over sideways, unless it was a tank cannon. Let's see. Leonid says, are you sure that your comment doesn't go to the channel owner for a review? I don't set my stuff up for it to do that, Leonid. I don't know why it would do that. Unless it's in his settings. It's never in mine. Chris says, the bar fight I mentioned earlier was started by some Jagoff sergeant who kept going on about the squid thing. So I explained that a squid is a higher form of marine life that shits on the lower ones. I'm surprised he didn't walk up to him and say, marine is an acronym, right? And they'll always look like, really? Yeah. Muscles are required, intelligence not essential. I was on my other channel, Crazy Uncle. I actually dig into the Marines just like I dig into the Rangers. I dig into everybody. If they're fucked up even a little bit, I'm going to dig into them. Because, it irritates me when people go to defend their country and they're just treated poorly or they get bad training. And I remember reading once, it was a fake gravestone that said, I'm trying to remember exactly how it was. May I never lose a man for the reason of lack of training or something like that. Or had I never lose a man where on his gravestone it will say, had I the proper training, or something along those lines. That one dug deep on me. Okay. Guard says, this motherfucker only had 3 scouts and 1 assist, and then he used his Lancaster and ended up racking up. Lancaster's a bomber, guys. 9 kills and a single drop, and somehow killed me through 3 buildings. Well, yeah, splash damage. I don't agree with the way they actually do the splash damage on there, because they're trying to save bandwidth, so it doesn't read the walls that it's supposed to be blowing through. In actuality, if you were on the other side of a building, the blast should have actually gone over your head. I've seen that, and that's one of the biggest issues. And if used correctly, those bombers are just good. There was one group, apparently they got kicked off because they would come in and they would be in a standard diamond formation, and they would you could hear them when they actually put their stuff out. They actually played the game. They weren't going for the actual video. And they're like, they gave the whole thing like, as they got in there, approaching target, line up. And it's like, Roger, all lined up. All right, front bomber, your flight, Roger, my flight, Bombay doors open. And then he's actually doing his bomb sight to line things up. And as soon as he said bombs away, everybody dropped their shit and they wrecked house. And it was done right. That's why I loved it so fucking much. But as soon as they dropped everything, they're like, all right, Roger, your ship. And everybody would come back, my ship. Bombay doors closed, and then check right, and they just kind of drift off. All in the same formation. They go rearm and refuel. And I'm just like, damn, why can't people play more like this? Okay, Lena says, you can test it in War Thunder. The Su-30 becomes UFO when it flies vertically. Oh, that's nice. Maybe that's what's going over Jersey. Okay, because this game is broken, the bomb physics are apparently a 10,000-pound bomb that can kill through 6 buildings. That's exactly what I was talking about. Lena says, Hercules live action confirmed. Disney one. I thought they did a live action Hercules already. Or maybe it's not going to be a shot, or they're going to try a shot-for-shot remake of that. I don't know. That looks... no. To me, that's dumb. Rage says, has anyone seen the chat songs about Snow Yellow? Hilarious. I haven't seen the chat songs, no. Star Wars videos with Unreal Engine 5. Yeah, I've seen a couple of those. They're actually pretty good. Because people know what they're doing. Why is it the fan-made films are so much better? Oh, that's right. The people that do the fan-made films actually give a shit about the product. Just like when 343 took over for Microsoft when it came to Halo. Well, guess what? The people that worked at 343 hated Halo. They wanted to destroy it. Well, congratulations, dipshits. Lenin says, do you know what the state of art Mandalorian navigation system sounds like? This is the way. This is still the way. Keep going. You're on the way. This is the way. Okay. Demon says, I can't hear that without thinking about Ugandan Knuckles. Do you know? Oh, I'm not even sure what to say on that one. Yeah. Yes, Chris. Soundboard's coming. I'd appreciate that, Chris. I'm not gonna beg, but I appreciate it. Techman says, Family Guy episode when Quagmire's watch dings. Oh, it's time for cold, flu, and AIDS again. All gone. They're not that far from the truth. The thing is, as long as they can make a shit ton of profit off sick people, they will forcibly make you sick. You guys can't see it, but in front of me, I got a plethora of pills I got to take tonight. And since I didn't take them earlier, tonight I'm going to be seeing all sorts of loopy shit in my sleep. If I can sleep. Lena says, when time travel introduces paradox-free way to solve your problems, then it's going to lose me. Why would it lose you? Are you a paradox yourself? Chris saying, that'll be creepy with a time travel. Our missing persons list, there are some really messed up people who definitely have bad intentions. Oh, that's going to be one of the things they're going to be thinking about, is going back a certain amount of time and finding when these people disappear, showing up and actually saving them from some of these freakazoids. And you're going to find some of these freakazoids are going to shoot first and not ask questions. Let's see. Alan says, think about our politicians and them living longer. Dude, I want to actually sleep tonight. That's nightmare fuel. That is literal nightmare fuel. Seriously, if Pelosi was in there forever, somebody grab a goddamn guillotine. Yeesh. Let's see. Sir says, Sir is saying hi to everybody. He is saying hi to everybody. Tekman says, I want the Omega 13 from Galaxy Quest, a 13-second time jump to the past, just to fix one mistake, not 30 years, a complete wreck of the timeline. Well, the thing is, nothing says adjusting one part of you is going to do that. Now, ask anybody who has done something stupid, like when I cracked my knee real bad. Okay, if I just went back and just like, hey, don't do that, or had somebody go back and call me away from that area, just for a second, so I didn't damage myself, then nothing would really be different, except for some people might have got some more extra training over a basic. That's about it. That's really the only thing. I can think of at least 2 or 3 things for me, and they're so insignificant for most people, it's crazy. Like, okay, one time I shouldn't have got really fucked up. I drank the wrong stuff. I mixed, I think it was bourbon and whiskey and vodka because they were in such small amounts, but I hadn't drank anything in over a year. Yeah, it was a bad freaking night. And I don't, let's just say you don't want to mix. Never mix, never worried, remember. Okay. Demon says, I really need to finish an AI civilization thing for you, Sin. If I finish it in time, maybe you can just combine it with the drone fleet I sent and get. I'm just messing with you, Sin, but I do need to finish it. Hey, take your time. It's better to do it right than rushing it. Lena says, are you writing anything about humans are space orcs or humans are space elves? I usually don't title it that. I just put HFY. I'll have to start putting that in on the on the catch things, the extra words where it's going to actually grab a hold of. Oh man, I can't even talk. I need another drink. Hold on. But I'm going to write that down because I haven't been doing that for a while. Maybe that's what's killing the channel. Space orcs, elves. Actually, the humans are space orcs and humans are space elves was actually one of the reasons why I started saying that certain species look like elves or look like orcs. Like the one I did is basically 7 deadly sins, where they find the different species out there. That was actually inspiration for that story. Let's see. Yep, got the soundboard. Let's see. Leon says, Gigak I don't know who that is. Kind of predicted the future of AI chatbots and VTube models with his video, Your Waifu Doesn't Like You. I haven't seen it. I'll take your word for it. War Sniper says, Sin, it was a few days ago on a funeral of an F-16 pilot who flew the first F-16 in the Netherlands, and 3 F-35 flew over in a missing man formation. It was great. I have the video if you want to see. By all means, email it to me. Lena says you only need 16 minutes of fuel in War Thunder. For some of these guys, when they try to pass by, they come down really, really low, and they're not trying to hide anything. So 16 seconds is all you really need once you start. Once you start your dive and everything. I did find it funny. There's a huge compilation video. I didn't get a chance to finish it because I didn't have an hour to waste. But it was just, you hear these guys trying to dive in, and they don't pull out a dive in time. They're like, okay, I released. Oh shit, fuck. And you just see it crumble and crash and stuff like that. And whoever shot at him, it gives them the kill. It's like, okay. Let's see. Chris says the new live action Hercules should star Terry Crews or Steve Buscemi or maybe Pauly Shore. Yeah, I'll believe that one. Pauly Shore wasn't funny back in the day. He sure isn't funny now. I could see Buscemi doing it, just to be, the skinny guy and then come up. Terry Crews, I don't know if he's still doing acting anymore. I haven't seen him in a lot, but I think he decided to not go through the humiliation ritual, which is their version of fraternity hazing. It's crazy. Lena says, if you want to use time travel, then your past needs to happen the way it is for you to even think about using it. Yes. Thank you, Leonid. You are one of the first people to actually understand that. I was just going over this the other day. A lot of people will say, if time travel was invented, your future self would have already landed. The truth is, you need to live through that first one before you can go and time travel and talk to yourself. Because if you haven't gone to the future and seen the future to go back, you wouldn't even know that. The thing is, say if you go back to yourself and you're talking to yourself, all of a sudden, all the new memories are starting to flash in your head while the old memories are trying to pull themselves out at the same time. And it's good luck trying to focus. Okay. Which is why if you were trying to stop yourself from doing something, say you want to stop yourself from crashing a car. Okay. You go that night and you loosen the valve stem so that there's a flat tire in the morning. So you have to call your boss. Hey, boss, I got to freaking change the tire. I'll be a little late. Okay. You're not going to be where that car crash is going to be. It's done. Done. Don't ever, if you did get a chance to go back in time and fix something you did, never ever meet yourself, because you are going to be so freaking confused while you're both standing there. When they did the movie Chronicle, they got that right, where you kind of like froze. You're like, what? And your brain can't process two timelines at the same time, not without being completely and utterly confused. But thank you, Leonid. You got it. You got it. You definitely understand that. And that's only on a strictly linear timeline. Now, if time is not linear, then yeah, things are going to get a lot more interesting. Okay. Warstorm says, if you go back in time with the mentality that I have now, okay, if I go back in time with the mentality that I have now, dude, I would kick my father's ass and make his life a nightmare, or become rich fast and leave the hellhole that was my parents' house. Ooh. Yeah, with that much anger, I could see that. Now, the kicker is, if you go back in time, chances are you're going to be restricted on what you can and can't do. Everybody wants to play the stock market. Everybody wants to get Amazon stock. Everybody wants to get Apple stock. Everybody wants to do this, that, and the other thing. Me personally, I just go buy a couple extra gold coins, because back then when I was a kid, it was only like maybe $300 an ounce. And now it's what, 3,000? 10 times your money. Done, son. The problem is you'd have to bury it somewhere and try to figure out what's going on, because you don't know if you can take something from the past to the future. You can go from future to the past, but the temporal dynamics get very, what's the technical term? Oh yeah. They get really, 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 really screwy. And like my old professor said, if you understand temporal dynamics and quantum physics, then you actually don't understand shit. You don't understand it at all, because there's so many factors that change so constantly. It's just so hard to put on. That's why, if you guys, I'm sure you've seen the show Big Bang Theory, where the guy has an eidetic memory and everything comes down to the math. He would actually have a mental break, because he wouldn't be able to understand all the different factors, because a lot of them are X factors. They're human factors, which if you don't fully understand the different culture for this area or this era and this area, then you're just going to be confused as all hell. Let's see. Erica says, concerning the live action Hercules, it should have a cameo from Kevin Sorbo, but it won't. Yes. For those of you not old enough to know this, back in the day, there was the show Hercules, and that's the guy who did it. He was also on, I think, one of the Star Trek ones, Enterprise or something. And he never was really able to reprise himself. Everybody just looked at him and said, oh yeah, that's the guy from Hercules. He never really got away from that. He's a decent actor, at least. I don't have any huge complaints, but just like when they did the A-Team movie and they had the cameos from the original members. They something like that. Just a hat tip to the originals. It needs to be there. War Sniper says, that man made me recuperate for 4 years. Okay. I got nothing. Yeah. I'm going to move on from that because I don't know what to say. I'm at a loss on that one. Let's see. Guard here says live action Hercules was done by a different company. I think it was Sony. Oh yeah, they have a great track record, don't they? Oy. They have a track record of hiring people to help out with video games, and then when the video game fails, they blame it on the ones they hired and then destroy entire studios. Or they'll buy the studio, make them build something, and then delete the studio and blackball everybody there. Why? Just because they're assholes? Lena says, in the video, AI girlfriend goes psycho. I'm not being a matchmaker for you. I'm looking for someone for myself. You know, it's that actually reminds me of they did a Batman Beyond video where one guy built his own girlfriend, and all he was trying to do was use the standard mentality of, I'm not making this personal, folks. I know, Erica, you're still here. But female and male mentality is different. He didn't fully understand female mentality, but he understood later that women are drawn to guys that already have women because they look valuable. It's one of those hardwired things that's in the system. But then he tries to like break up with the robot, and the robot's like, I was built specifically for you. And then he says, oh, it's okay. We can still be friends. And as she's about to literally explode, he looks at Batman Beyond and goes like, was that the wrong thing to say? Was that ever the right thing to say? Every once in a while, I don't know what it is about Batman animated series, any of them, there's always one or two lines that just hit absolutely perfect. Just like the original one where the original Bane grabbed the fender of the Batmobile and crushed it with his bare hands. And Alfred sees it later and goes, there's a ding in your fender, sir. He crushed my car, Alfred, between a couple of guys. That's pretty personal. And I mean, it was just, yeah. Wow, this thing jumped. Space Dwarves is also part of HFY. You know what? Hi ho, hi ho. I'm going to put that down. It goes. Yep, I'll put it in with the next one. Hopefully, it gets some more views and everything. Lena also says there's going to be a new Gundam anime in April. I'm done with Gundam. I can't. I just can't, because for something that big to move like that, my suspension of disbelief has limits. 8th MS team did it very well. Gundam Double X was just fun. At least I thought so for a post-apocalyptic. But aside from that, yeah, Gundam Wing was fun when I was a kid, but now I just can't do it. But I mean, by all means, Leonid, enjoy the shit out of it. Crack a couple of beers, have some popcorn ready, and just enjoy the shit out of it. That's what you enjoy. Don't ever let me stop you. Ava's here saying, I've awakened. She's awakened. Does that mean you turn the pods on? Look up. Here she comes. Okay. Demon says, picture being so bad with women that even AIs have ones leave. Huh? Picture being so bad with women that picture being so bad with women that even AI ones leave you. Yeah, that would crush your ego and crush your nuts at the same time. You know, it's like Charlie Sheen used to say on 2.5 Men. It's like, don't call me a great guy. That's what you say to the one that, or was it a kiss on the cheek? And she called me a great guy. Why don't you just kick me in the nuts? Ava's saying, how has everyone been? I have been busy as all fuck, Ava. That's what I've been busy. But hey, we're here. We're enjoying ourselves. And there you go. And War Sniper, great. Now you're here. We can have fun. Let's see. Let's see. Chris saying, War Sniper, I moved to 17 for the same reason. Navy was hiring, so that's where I went. Oh, moved out at 17. Okay. Yeah. To each their own. Me personally, I should have joined the Army at 17. The day I graduated freaking high school, I should have shipped out. But I wasn't that smart back then. And the only reason I wouldn't, I would be very, 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 very hesitant to adjust myself and make myself go to the Army at 17 instead of a few, going to college and trying the union and everything like that, is because I got nieces and nephews, and I would have to make sure that they actually got born. The kicker is, all I had to do at that point was stay in Korea and stay the hell out of everybody's way, and all the kids will be born. It's not a big deal. Now, they did do, for those of you who watch Invincible, they did do in the comics where Invincible got a chance to go back in time after about 50 years and to the point or the day where his father killed off the Guardians of the Globe, but he went back into his old body. He wasn't super strong anymore. All he could do was take a bit of a beating. And he was able to actually stop his death. But the thing is, the writing for that issue was so bad. Oh, fuck, it was bad. Oh my God. And the thing is, you knew what was going to happen. He'd find a reason where he would have to go back to, the original timeline. And he was like, oh, I missed if I don't hook up with Adam Eve, I won't have my daughter. He told everybody else in the entire comic, he's from the future. Here's what's going to happen. The one woman or one person that he had to tell the truth to make sure that he was going to have his daughter again, guess what? He didn't tell her the truth. He didn't go up and say, guess what? I'm from 30 years in the future. We got a kid. We got married. Now we're 17. We can start fucking each other's brains out right now, and we're good, because he couldn't get her pregnant for years because that's just the way his genetics were. What the fuck is wrong with this picture anyway? It didn't make it. Did it pass the sniff test? Nope. It did not. Ugh. That's the thing I hate about these time travel stories. They always want to make it seem like doing any type of time travel is a bad idea. Wrong. Wrongo bongo. I can think of one day I'd like to go and fix. Even if I had to go through a whole bunch of other stuff again, I would go and fix certain things. Send me back into my old body. Here we go. Okay. Leonid, speaking of classics, have you ever watched Tank Police? Yes, a very, very long time ago, with a girl with her little baby tank with a big ass gun. All I could think of is when she fires that thing, where's the recoil go? Because when she fires it, she's literally got her pelvis up against the end of the barrel. That thing's got to be an 88 millimeter right there, maybe even up to a 105. Where in the flying hell is the recoil going? Because it doesn't flip the tank backwards. It should break her in half, literally. Oy, Chihuahua. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Ava, you missed all the fun with Demon having all that fun with YouTube. Apparently, he's still having fun with it. War Sniper. I left my home and went to a autism clinic when I was 22 years old. After 3.5 years, I left the clinic. Oy, chihuahua. Ooh, my hat's off, dude. I wouldn't be able to handle that shit. I would have put my head through a wall. But that's just me. Let's see. Techaman Rage. Omega 13, my friends. Jump your consciousness back a few seconds. I take omega 13s all the time. That doesn't do anything for me. You got to remember, everybody's biochemistry is very similar, but no two are the same. Just like no two people are exactly the same. There's always slight differences, even with twins. So, yeah, take that with a grain of salt. Chris saying Chuck Norris could make a Gundam salsa dance. Why not? Raid says, sorry, just been listening for a bit doing other stuff. Other stuff? That's what you call her, is stuff? Okay. Oh, Ava's showing off her friggin' riding skills here with her Kawasaki Ninja 5000 in Moondust Gray. It's going to be fun. Yeah, that does sound like a nice ride, Erica. I'm not much of a rider myself. I can appreciate it, but you put me on one of those things for hours at a time like some people do, and I can't move. I can't do that anymore. You know, this is one of the things where the CRISPR program would pay up. You put me in my 20-year-old self and fix a lot of this meat suit, holy shit, I wouldn't need time travel. Although they'd be going after my retirement for sure. But the thing is, on that same note, everybody starts asking what would be the repercussions of being able to live for so long. What would happen to retirement? Well, that would be extremely simple. What's going to happen is if you have a 20-year retirement job, you would work for 20 years. You would then have retirement for 20 years. Now, during that next 20 years, you could work on, I don't know, work on yourself, become, get another position within 10 years in where you're making even more money. So you're even making that on top of your retirement. And then there's going to be a lapse over, or you just jump into another business at the end of your 20. And then, I mean, you can either work for 20 years and relax for 20 years and then start over again, or work for 20 years, then go to another job, build that pension up, and, you know, just relay that cycle over and over again. And if you do that, holy crap. The problem is being in a job that you can mentally maintain for 20, because you won't have to worry about physical. Let's see. SS Demon says, you were talking about Armored Core earlier, and now I want to play it, but I can't because I have to leave for work in 40 minutes. Yeah. The cinematics were always good for Armored Core. Oh, man. I don't know if it was Blizzard or what, but they always made good cinematics. Didn't make a lot of sense, but they were really fun to watch. Leonid, I've heard the funniest story from an interview on the internet. There was a guy that was kicked out of the DMT moderator. Oh, kicked out by the DMT moderator. How the hell was he kicked out for that? Did he take too much? Or was he just like loopy? Ava's here. For a lesser fun fact, artillery platforms are limited in firing range by the Geneva Convention to 80 kilometers max range. Yeah, but the thing is, we were already using stuff that was a lot farther than that. A lot of the heavy artillery, a lot of people call the king of battle. It was in World War I, which is where they got the moniker. However, artillery is losing a lot of its punch, no pun intended, simply because there's too much movement. Unless you have a really good fister, and yes, that's the name of the guy who actually calls it in. If they're not Johnny on the spot, by the time those rounds land, everyone's gone already. Usually the only time you catch anybody is when they're refueling. which is where you get guys like me who are in the tree line down below everything, got the radio on whisper mode, giving in grid coordinates. Rage, somebody already brought that up. Galaxy Quest Omega 13. Let's see. Guard says, you might like the 3D animated Gundam series since they kind of fall a little bit into the horror aspect of it. Maybe I'll look into it one of these days. Demon says, Geneva Convention? You mean the Geneva Suggestion. I want to see how far I can throw those damn shells. Well, I've known plenty of guys who were artillery guys, and they don't really give a shit so much about distance as much as they care about accuracy. Because if you're accurate, you don't have to throw as many shells. And with the larger ones, it takes like 4 people to lift the damn things safely. Now, don't get me wrong. I've actually gone over to 205 artillery shells, and those guys thought it'd be funny. They said, hey, grab this and pick it up over there. Well, I know what the hell I'm doing, lifting with my legs. So, yeah, I got it up, and I finally got it up on my shoulder, and I walked over, and I very carefully put it down, and a couple of them are looking at me like, how could you do that? You're infantry. Yeah, just because I'm not sitting there lifting weights all day like you guys doesn't mean I'm not strong. I didn't have the heart to tell them. It felt like my back was going to compress into my pelvis and that every single muscle in my body was absolutely screaming at me at the time. But it is what it is. Chris says, last time I went on a roller coaster, I passed a kidney stone I didn't know I had. Ow. Riding for hours could kill me. At least make me wish I was dead. Yeesh. See, Ava says, Armored Core is from Soft, the devs of Dark Soul. I almost read that wrong. I thought she said Armored Core was from Softcore, the same devs of Dark Soul. What the fuck? Freudian slip here. See, Lena says, I'm playing Fallout Shelter. They finally add new weapons, railgun pistols. Oh, yeah, that's good for one. T60 pistol and the assault rifle from Fallout 4. I restarted my vault. Now, the thing is, assault rifle, there's actually no definition for that. Assault weapon, I had that back. Assault weapon, there's no actual meaning for that. Assault rifle, well, I'm hoping for your sake, Leonid, it goes from safe to semi to 3-round burst to full auto, or else they mislabeled it. And there is absolutely no weapons sold here in the U.S. without a level 4 federal firearms license where you can actually purchase one of those things. The only time people have a full automatic, by the way, is it's either grandfathered because their actual grandfather brought it over from one of the wars, or you got yourself a federal firearms license in FFL. Let's see. Demon says, Gundams and other mechs are so cool until you are the foot soldier on the other team. Yes and no. Because I've actually run this. They had Battlefield 2142. We were playing that. And some guy was he had the bipedal, basically they're an up-armored Locust and from Battletech. And these guys, they were able to steal ours, and they're just wrecking house with us. And I was looking at it, I was like, okay, guys, rocket teams, time for an ambush. Somebody grab one of those tanks and lead them into the ambush. Just goat them in. And they did. They were dumb enough to go through a actual, no shit, full-on urban terrain. We're sitting there, and I still remember I got my guy just crouched down, just waiting as I see him coming in. He's coming in. He's coming in. And all I hear is, fire now! And I had to turn real quick and fire it, and we all just friggin' wrecked him. Wrecked him. Hell, we killed him. It's just, He just went to pieces. The guy I don't even think he knew what hit him. All he knew is he exploded. And then we look over, and some other guys had got the other one. It was crippled. It was on fire. He's trying to turn around and go away. The tank went over and shot him in the back. Dropped him right there. But yeah, the thing is, I don't know about Gundams, but when it comes to mechs, it depends on what type of mech and what type of weapons you have. Because if you know what you're doing, you can get on an assault mech, put a satchel charge right on the hatch or right on the cockpit, and then by the time they try to get to wipe that thing away, boom, blows up, kills the pilot, kill the meat, save the metal, and there you go. Now you have your own battle mech. Well, once you sponge out the contents, that is. Ava says, it's still the king of battle as it can barely move. Yeah, good point. They do call the infantry the queen of battle based on chess because we can move anywhere. Although I always hated that, the queen of battle. Queen of battle, follow me. All that shit. Let's see. Lena says, DMT entity got pissed off because the guy didn't want to ask questions and then booted him back to the real world. Oh, the entity. Okay. That would suck. You go and you meet something from another dimension, and it's like, I don't want to talk to you. Fuck off. What the hell? Let's see. Leonid, Clone Wars was just Jedi committing war crimes for 3 years. Well, you can't say that because you don't know what in their lore, what justifies a war crime. By our standards, absolutely. Holy shit. Executing leaders and everything like that. Guard says, like continuing on my talk about the Gundam series, the main characters didn't know that for almost 2 days they were being tracked by the same Gundam who wiped out their entire battalion. It tracked them for 2 days and only lost them because they ran into the three of a Vanguard forces, which it killed, always because it was pretty much the first times its model was seen. I'm inferring to the old model that the MC uses in almost every series, the white one with the horns. Yeah, I could see that. The thing, it's that used to originally that was meant to be a style choice for the original artist, but they grabbed that and ran with it. Let's see. Demon says Armored Core 4 answered my favorite. Is my favorite to date, but I do love all the games. But fighting the armed forts in number 4 was just awesome. Okay. See, now again, I'm not a big Armored Core fan. I love BattleTech for sure. Usually hardened structures, you sit back and hit it with a couple of long toms, which is artillery, and call it good. You just go in at that point. Ava says, Sin, I thought I had a dirty mind, but it seems yours is in the mud. You didn't know that? I mean, seriously, did you guys actually hear at the end of the last story that I did? The species name of the female that got hit while they were playing paintball? The Dragdicon? Say that slow. Let's see. Ava says, assault weapon is built to suppress the foe. Battle weapons. Suppress the foe. Battle weapons are made to kill the foe. In those video games, I'm sure. All I know is I've had to do multiple research papers on all this stuff because it got bad. We had a whole bunch of reporters show up at the post and scream that we're using assault weapons when we're not supposed to. And I'm like, do you even know what the definition is? And I actually had to pull it out constantly. Whip it out and show it to her. So anyway, Tekkaman Rage. A bullet has a name on it. A grenade says it's whom it may concern, and an artillery shell says dear grid coordinates. I like that. I'm going to say that again. A bullet has a name on it. A grenade says to who it may concern, and an artillery shell says dear grid coordinates. I like somebody should put that on a shirt. Okay. Guards here talking about the tank police. By the power of anime logic, her thighs should absorb the recoil. I don't see why not, because I remember you had those two cat girls on there who were strippers. And yes, I said cat, not fox. Lenin says there was a massive assault rifle abomination in the game that shoots 5.56 ammo. It was supposed to fire 50 cal in the game. That's a pretty big difference. You're talking about a glorified 22 compared to something that can be 6 to 8 inches away from you and still start peeling skin off of your body. Demon says there's an old Gundam movie that follows the beginning of the Earth assault where the Earth didn't have a Gundam yet and they had to fight the Zaku's with tanks and infantry. God, I felt sorry for those guys. Yeah, because it was a revolutionary piece of machinery, just like the drones are now. I just did a video for my other channel with my nephew. He was supposed to call me today. I don't know what the fuck happened to him because I had to get verification of when he wanted this to drop before or after he went to basic. But whatever. But yeah, if you're fighting, basically it's the same as fighting battle mechs with just infantry and tanks. Good fucking luck. Yeah. That's funny, Chris. He says, can you imagine being kicked back to reality because you looked like the creature's ex? I got nothing. You win. You win. I got nothing on that. Let's see. Warsniper says, well, I might too close to Sleepy to detect the you didn't spell it right. Or how to type it. The drag dick on. It was meant to be a joke, guys. You know, I try to make jokes out of all the names because it's the easiest way to do it. Well, not easiest way to do it, but what's worse is when you have one that is very odd like that, and then you got to say it like a lot over time. It's really hard to, it's really easy to mispronounce it. Let's see. Demon says armed forts are massive mobile super weapons and or bases. Some are larger than cities. All armed forts make the largest necks, which are armor core, look like tiny in comparison to them. Yeah, I believe that. Ava says she's got to go. Everybody's saying goodnight to her. And we've been going for just about 2 hours. So I'm just going to let the last of the chats come in. And then we're going to go. I will give a little bit of my safety brief here. Just be careful, folks. It's the time of year. You don't have to worry about black ice. You don't have to worry about young critters running across the road. Most people are either too cold to go outside. The kids don't want to be outside, so you're not going to have to worry so much about that. Just be careful with the weather, and we're all good on that. You know, just like, what does it say here? Demon says infantry to a Gundam are a similar size comparison to nets and armed forts for a better comparison. Okay, that actually helps. I appreciate that. All right, since everybody is saying good night, I'm just going to give the safety brief. You know, if you drink, you don't drive. If you drive, you don't drink. If your buddy wants to drink and drive, feel free to kick their ass. And if the cops give you any shit, have them contact me, and I will say, guess what? I'll let you know. And by the way, Rage, you are right. Do not underestimate the power of the infantry. We make it a point to show that you underestimated us. You don't believe me? All you have to do is look at people like Sergeant York and Private or Lieutenant Murphy. You know, those are the ranks they had after they showed everybody, oh, you think this is just some stupid hick? Trust me, they're going to prove you wrong. If there's a way to do it, they'll do it. You're not going to like it, especially when they brought the Bradleys up for one of our training missions. and we swarmed the Bradley and dropped a bunch of smoke grenades in there because they kept saying, "You're not hit, we're not hit, we're not hit." It's like, okay, fucker, evacuate your track, asshole. Oh, now there's this big green stain on the bottom. Well, don't shit your pants. Anyway, make sure, continue with safety brief. Make sure if your little soldier is going in the bush, make sure he wears this poncho. It gets a little wet in the bush and in the mud if that's where you want to play. And aside from that, folks, take care of yourselves because I want to see all you back here next week, all safe and sound, so that we can continue our talks here on Syntax Live. Once again, take care of yourselves. This is your host, punching out.